Now, here's a build I'd seen on other channels and heard a bit about, but I haven't featured on this channel yet. We've got the triple artillery build for Nurgle. Yes, that's right. We've got Kugath plus 2 Soul Grinders. This replay, just to make sure I got it correct, here submitted by Wilson. And he's got a bunch of Nurglings up front, 5 Nurglings up front, backed up by some Plague Bears. We've got 3 Plague Bears, and then the 3 artillery pieces for Cathay. They also came in with quite a bit of artillery. 4 crane guns. Can be a huge danger to Kugath if he's not careful. We've got 3 longbows to protect. Just peasant long spears with a single Jade Warrior sword in the center. Dragon-blooded Shootgun Lord of Yin up in the air, of course. Why would you ever take any other lord? I mean, the Dragon Blood Lords are just so cost-effective. Like, the actual dragons are pretty good, don't get me wrong, but the Shooting Gun Lords are they're just so cost-effective for what they give you. But let's get up close in the artillery trade and watch crane guns fire as they take the disgusting blobs of plague fired by the mortars in the distance there. Definitely trying their best to just trade artillery-wise. There's Kugath's Nurgling, heated, of course, with great love. And yeah, I think this is a little bit of a targeting mistake from Cathayan player here of not focusing all of the crane guns immediately onto Kugath. He is by far the biggest threat here. Like, your infantry, they're not going to die quick enough, the Plague Bears, to make it matter. Like, yes, you want to gun down the Plague Bears eventually, but right now, I would be focusing all of those crane guns on Kugath. You need to be doing, in land battle at least, especially as a faction with good missiles, you need to be focusing him as much as possible. Don't want to be fighting him in melee like right here. This is okay, but all these longbows are going to be taking significant armor-piercing damage in melee, and unsupported, they're not going to be doing that much to the Soul Grinders. I like the summon of the Ancestral Warriors, even though they're going to be taking magic damage from everything. They'll also be able to dish out some serious damage in return, but a longbows, it's kind of, again, a targeting error, also in that the Furies are now able to sweep in for Nurgle and come in and shut down a bunch of the Crane Gunners, so definitely I would have kept the longbows back. Maybe you send one to kind of fly around and harass and just act like you're going to attack without actually really committing to a full engagement. Keep the other 2 longbows back to protect against the Furies and maybe do some interrupt charges on the Plague Bears while all of the crane guns focus Kugath. But we'll see. I mean, certainly plenty of battle time left. Kugath has almost lost 1 Soul Grinder. Try to put a Fleshy Abundance into him to try and keep him on the field, but we'll see if that's going to be enough. The Ancestral Warriors are definitely making their presence felt. That one single summon has done a significant amount of value damage to the Nurgle army. In fact, let's check in with the Ancestral Warriors. Yeah, 1,300 value before they pop on their summon, and we immediately get another summon to take their place. So, great magic play there from Cathay, definitely, but the loss of all of the crane guns to the Furies is a disaster. Not to mention the Nurglings actually trading very well with the Peasant Spears in the front line, and despite all the fire poured into the Plague Bears, they will still eventually win that fight, even if it will take them quite a long time. So, a little bit of back and forth for both players. At this point, the Soul Grinders being gone is going to give a pretty significant, yeah, you would think it'd be a more significant dent to the balance of power, but the fact that Cathay's just sustained losses across their entire army, and especially those missile units, which being so key for taking out Kugath, not necessarily reflected in the balance of power, but tactically going to be an issue for sure. We'll see. Maybe they're going to be able to salvage a couple. This one here comes back from route. Longbows are able to get on this unit of Furies. Another longbow here to protect as well. So if they can keep at least the 1 safe, they'll have some kind of missile pressure to put on Kugath in the late game. But Kugath, of course, also has his own missile pressure in the late game. Plenty of artillery shots left for him. He can fly, throw at a distance. Can also kind of throw in melee too. You can see he actually hits the Shooting Gun Lord there. Is accurate enough to maybe not consistently hit moving flying targets, but certainly stationary flying targets he can hit. Let's see, just going after the crane guns there as they come back from route. Just definitely keeping on the targeting priority, and manages to hit the Shooting Gun again, this time unintentionally. Man, that's just pretty impressive, honestly. But Nurgling's little push here gets kind of finished off by the Longmas. They're able to secure this position, and the crane guns, again, this Cathay player just not, for whatever reason, just believing that they can kill Kugath in melee, or I don't know, maybe they're trying to finish off literally everything else first, but all of these crane guns that are online are basically within range to shoot Kugath, and they're all still trying to focus the Plague Bearers. Whatever strange reason. I mean, Kugath is literally like 3,000 points, so I'm not trying to talk bad about the Cathayan player here. I'm just saying, like, this probably could have been over if you would have focused Kugath, like, from the beginning. Maybe not over, but it certainly would have been easier, and Cathay would have been in a much better position. Right now, they're arguably not in the worst position, actually. They should be able to finally start focusing. With enough of these support units wiped, should finally start to be able to focus Kugath, but they've lost enough unit models on all of these crane guns that I don't know, and they've used up enough ammunition on stuff that wasn't Kugath, right? I don't know if they actually have enough stopping power left at this point, so we're going to fast forward a little bit as Kugath continues to fight and chill, and he's not throwing his own artillery for whatever reason. Oh, there he goes. Trying to get some shots in there. Longma's cycle charging his Nurglings, which of course being Kugath, they do get that little bit of healing, right? Gives them a little bit of passive healing. We take a look here. Nurgling infestation. Yep, so they're going to be regenerating over time, so even as the crane guns fire, they're getting return fired by Kugath, and yeah, they're also watching those Nurglings just heal and heal and heal. And Longbows are going to try and come in and maybe finish the Nurglings, but they can't do too much at this point either, so we'll keep fast forwarding as the Kugath, the Plague Father himself, uses up the last of his ammunition there, finishing off those crane guns. Now, trying to support his infantry bros against these Longmas. Shingun Lord's going to charge in. That is very, very brave, to be honest. He can also throw point blank, which is another great benefit of having the artillery attack. If someone tries to cycle charge him like this, I mean, the time that it takes for you to get up, turn around, and charge back in, he will be throwing, you know, his Nurglings at you during that time and dealing damage. Looks like Cathay is just going to chain route anyway, so that'll be game. Big thanks to Hala, I'm going to go with that, for sending that one in. Definitely well played to Kugath. I mean, he managed to survive, although I will say, again, better focus from the crane guns. Maybe could have changed things a little bit earlier on. I don't know. You know, the Halberd Summon in the backline actually is a pretty good play. So, like I said, maybe you send just the one Longma into the opponent's backline to help support with that Halberd Summon, and then keep the other two back to protect the crane guns. Focus the crane guns on Kugath first and foremost, above anything else on the field. You know, in terms of pure value and in terms of target priority, in terms of win condition, right? In terms of the unit you need to kill to actually win the game. Like, Kugath is the #1 thing you have to take out, so he can't heal and deal damage. Just a little bit of food for thought, but hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this one. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.